Have you ever known someone who, the moment a relationship gets hard, simply disappears? Not a fight, not a confrontation, just silence. One day they're in your life, the next day they're gone. No explanation, no goodbye. Most people assume they're cold, heartless, incapable of real connection. Psychology suggests something far more interesting, because people who cut others off aren't usually acting out of indifference. They're acting out of protection. And that protection almost always begins long before the person they cut off ever entered the picture. Here's what most people never think about. As children, we're supposed to learn one fundamental thing: that conflict can be repaired. That when something breaks between two people, it can be talked through, fixed, survived. And when a child experiences that consistently, disagreement followed by repair, the brain learns something valuable. People can be hard on me and still stay. But not every child learns that lesson. Some children watch conflict turn into something else entirely. Silence that lasts days. Love that disappears the moment they make a mistake. Relationships that simply end instead of repair. And the brain, desperate to make sense of an unpredictable world, draws its own conclusion. If staying through difficulty isn't safe, leaving first is. So when conflict shows up again later in life, and it will, because conflict is just what happens between two real people, something old activates. Not logic, not even conscious choice, just an old, well-rehearsed exit. Here's the part that surprises most people. The person who cuts others off usually isn't doing it because they don't care. They're doing it because they care enormously, and they've never learned that caring and conflict can coexist. To them, distance feels safer than disappointment. An ending feels more bearable than the uncertainty of waiting to find out if someone will stay. Their nervous system isn't cruel, it's just fast. It learned a long time ago that leaving first hurts less than being left. And that learning shows up in adulthood as decisiveness, as boundaries, as someone who seems impossible to hurt because they're already gone before the hurting starts. People call it strength. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just a very old escape route still being used long after the danger is gone. Here's what actually matters, though. Cutting people off isn't always wrong. Some relationships genuinely need to end. But there's a difference between walking away from something harmful and disappearing from something simply uncomfortable. The question was never whether you're capable of leaving. You clearly are. The real question is, are you leaving because the relationship is actually unsafe? Or because closeness still feels like something that will eventually disappear anyway? So why wait around to find out? Because those are two very different things. And the distance between them is usually someone who once needed a person to stay through something hard, and nobody did.